Aloha, this is Shalia Plant here, coming from awakenedsoul.net. Thank you so much for joining me today. In this video, I would like to talk a little bit about my twin flame journey and how you may quicken up your process of meeting your twin flame. I know some people, and I was that person too. I think that's one reason why I want to do this video. How badly, in so many ways, I desire to be united with my twin flame, and wondering what can I do to make this process faster. You know, like, I want him now. I want him now. I'm ready. I think I'm ready. Where's he at? Okay, come on, you know. So anyway, so for me, my twin flame journey started probably about 10 years ago, when I first entered college, and I was really focused on meeting. I didn't know what twin flame was back then, so I considered like a soulmate, or like basically like my ultimate soulmate. And I had this plan that I would get married by the time I was 23, 24, and I'd have a baby on the way at 25. I had all these things listed. I'm like, yes, I want to do this. This is what I want. You know, but lo and behold, my soul had a totally different other plan. It's just fun because sometimes we don't know what's in our best and highest interest, but God does, you know, and our soul does. So it's really important to listen. But those desires that I had from the very beginning were always real and always true, and something that I stood by very strongly, as I would never settle for anything less than what I desired in my life. And when I think about my future, like, say, you know, as an older woman, or, you know, a middle-aged woman. I don't think I'm middle-aged yet. I'm only 29. A good question though. When am I considered middle-aged? But it doesn't matter. Anyway, I just never saw myself being like a single mom in my 30s, 40s, working and trying to make it, and maybe having a lover here and there, but not really having a partner. I never really wanted that. I knew I came from a single mother household, and it was really, really difficult. And I felt in many ways that I went through that experience with my mom as being a single mom, not just witnessing her struggle with it, but also because I was 4 years older than my brother, and I had to help being the oldest child, and specifically a female. So, you know, that being said, I became aware of twin flames probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and that's when I knew in my heart of hearts that that was what I wanted. I desired a soul-to-soul union. I desired to be with my ultimate lover. That's one of the things I called him. And I started doing research, and I felt like I was really going to walk down that path of attracting my twin. I believed that my twin was on the planet, and I was very certain of it. And I guess I felt like I needed to, at that time in my life, in my mid-20s, I was feeling like I needed to move around across the world, or across the country. And, whoop, got a little excited, my camera moved. And I was really desiring to be in so-called spiritual places, spiritual communities, where there'd be a high degree chance of me meeting my man. Because if I'm spiritual and I'm attracted to these things, he probably would be too, you know? But at the same time, that's not necessarily the case. And I'll get to that in a minute. About a year and a half ago, no, let me go back a little further. A couple years ago, I had a couple friends who were psychics, and one could open up my Akashic records and read my records, and so I was asking about my twin flame. Is he on this planet? Are we gonna meet and be together? And I got no, that my twin was not on the planet at this time. I was very disappointed, and I thought, well, doesn't mean I have to settle. I can still attract a good man, and maybe his energy will resonate very closely with my twin, and you know, it'll work out fine. And then I was also told that my twin may also be a walk-in soul, and basically, in a nutshell, I won't go into walk-ins, that's the whole thing, and I'd just prefer if you guys researched it. A walk-in is a soul-to-soul exchange of bodies. So one soul leaves the body and another one enters, and sometimes this happens with suicides. Instead of wasting the body, the soul will just exchange out, because no sense in having to grow a new one. And also sometimes there's already pre-contracts made before the soul is actually incarnated into a body, that they will switch out at certain times, at a certain time on the path. And I felt like maybe that resonated. I'm like, yeah, you know. But what I found out later was my twin flame was not a walk-in. I'm not a walk-in. We just were not resonating at the same frequency on the planet at the same time. So nobody was picking up cues that we were incarnated at the planet at the same time. And I wasn't picking up on his vibe, because I would kind of put up my antenna, my signal, and I'd shoot out a signal like a bat signal, and I'd vibe out across the the planet, searching for my twin flame, and I would get nothing back. And sometimes I would get that there were no matches for me on the planet. And as someone who's very driven for connection and love and belonging within a relationship, that was very hard for me to take. But I did mentally and spiritually and emotionally prepare myself for the fact that I may never marry, I may never be with someone, and I'll just be a single mom, and I'll make it work, and everything will be okay, and I'll have a community of people around me, and I'll definitely make enough money and then some, and we'll be happy. So anyway, so then about a year and a half later, I was told by my guides that that my twin flame was on the planet, that I was now so-called resonating at a frequency where we could connect and meet, and that we could feel each other. And that was really exciting. And I met this man who we dated probably for like a month and a half, 2 months. We even moved in together in that time frame, if you can believe it. And it was basically an utter catastrophe. It was scary. You know, not like, I wasn't like in physical harm's way or anything like that, but just how quickly the ego came in like that, and the whole relationship changed, and he did not present himself to be the man that I thought he was, or that he thought maybe he was. And I was like, holy shit, I gotta get out of this situation ASAP. And I just quit my job. Oh my God. And, you know, after that was all said and done, I went back to my guides, and I was like, my spirit guides, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? Like, I thought you told me this was my twin flame. And they said, well, if we told you that he wasn't your twin flame, would you have entered that relationship? And I'm like, well, no, because I'm waiting for my twin. And they're like, well, you wouldn't have attracted your twin if you didn't enter this relationship, because you needed some lessons learned and you needed some experience, and you needed to look at and heal some core issues that came up. And I was like, shit, man. Like, there's part of me that was really disappointed and really kind of, I lost trust.